No flush, no toilet paper, and no privacy. And whatever you do, don't swim in the river. Going to the bathroom wasn't the easiest adventure in medieval castles. Keep watching to see how people used the other throne room. Smithsonian Magazine writes that prior to the modernization of toilets, things like outhouses, chamber pots, and holes dug in the ground were the norm when it came to using the bathroom. Portland Lou writes that the first indoor toilet was believed to have been created in Scotland in around 3000 BC. And while many ancient civilizations had sewage and plumbing systems, not everyone had access to privacy. In ancient Rome, for example, shared public toilets were standard, and it was commonplace to socialize while using the toilet. Wiping was accomplished with a shared sea sponge on a stick. Although their toilets did not flush, a stream of water beneath the toilet disposed of the waste into a sewer. For one reason or another, these sewage systems were eventually replaced by other means in medieval times. Public toilets in this time period were said to be built on bridges, so that the waste would fall below into a body of water, such as a river. The World History Encyclopedia says that private toilet facilities called guardrobes worked a little differently. These were housed in a compact closet-like structure within a castle, typically featured a wooden or stone seat, and were built into the wall of any castle. Consequently, they could easily be distinguished when viewed from the outside. There were various ways the waste was disposed of. In some cases, it even meant employment. When one used a guardrobe, the waste went directly into a river or moat, in the best-case scenario. If there was no water nearby, All That's Interesting says that the waste ended up in a pit via a gutter. In that case, workers known as gong farmers would clean these pits out frequently. Worst job ever? It's a great candidate. While we're on the topic of smell, let's also mention the elephant in the room here. It would have been pretty ripe. To get rid of that, or at least contain it, the structure usually had a small window and lacked doors. Herbs were also used to counteract odors. If it seems like these openings would be a defensive weak point, they could be. It's why they were often built high up off the ground, and why it was ensured that if these gutters came close to the ground, they had some kind of protection. To make this even more uncomfortable to modern sensibilities, toilet paper did not exist. Instead, hay, grass, or even moss was used to do the job.
What?
But while medieval hygiene was not great, it's important to mention that it wasn't horrible. Hand washing and bathing were common enough. Although the cities did reek of excrement, this was due to a lack of a proper sewage system, not because people were using the bathroom anywhere they pleased. However, if public bathrooms were not readily available, it was inevitable for waste to be dumped on the streets. Guardrobes eventually became obsolete because of the smell they produced. According to Real Paper, they were replaced by chamber pots. History reports that Sir John Harington, the godson of Queen Elizabeth I, invented the first flushable toilet in 1596. He used nearly 8 gallons of water from a reservoir located upstairs to flush the toilet. It's admittedly a brilliant idea, so why didn't it take off? Blame the Queen. Brubaker Inc. says that he reportedly introduced his invention to the Queen, but she was put off by how much noise it made. Fast forward to 1775, and Scottish inventor Alexander Cumming patented flush toilets and created an S-shaped pipe to contain the smells. Despite this, Smithsonian Magazine says flushable toilets did not gain popularity until 1851. History reports toilet paper became commercially available in 1857 and was heavily improved by the 1930s, and civilization hasn't been the same since.